I've just come into the Vitus audio room at Munich High-End Society Show 2014. And I'm here with Hans from Vitus Audio. Hans, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Everybody's buzzing about the new product, the new amplifier, and the viewers can now see just the size and the scope of it. I mean, this is no small amplifier.
No, it's not.
What, first off, made you want to build an amplifier of this size and power?
Well, it's, this is the Masterpiece product, so we have the Masterpiece mono amps, which is quite a bit smaller than this. However, you need 4 chassis for having a complete stereo system. And, there are some customers who just don't want to have 4 big chassis standing there. They prefer to have 1 chassis only. But to build something which is, at the Masterpiece level and a little, not really a step down, but pretty much at the same level as the Masterpiece mono amps, in 1 chassis, well, it's a Class A amplifier. It needs big heat sinks and a big power supply, so that already gives the size. As you can see, the whole side here is basically 1 big heat sink, and we have 2 of them. So that gives, a hint of the size already. The top here, it's basically the chassis is divided in 2. On the inside, so on the top we have the power supply, so we have 2 massive transformers sitting to try and create some equal weights. They are placed like this, 2.25 kVA each, and then we have all the capacitors here on the side, and that's completely shielded. So well, radiation is probably not the right word, but I'm sure you know what I mean. From the electrical fields from the transformer doesn't really interfere with the audio part, which is then at the bottom of the amplifier. So the power supply takes up about half of the complete chassis, and the actual amplifier is the rest. And what we also did, because the Masterpiece mono amps have fully regulated power supplies for all output stages, etc. We didn't have room for that in this particular amplifier because that requires even more space, which is why the other one is in 4 chassis. So we had to have a lot of capacitors of different types, mix them in the right way to have as close to a regulated power supply, but without having one. So in total, this small amplifier has 1,200,000 microfarads inside. So that's 600,000 per channel. It sounds completely crazy, but when you do the math and you do the measurements, well, for this type of amplifier, that's really what you need if you want to have, a quiet amplifier.
Well, we heard them yesterday on the big Estalons,
yeah,
and it was a wonderful sound. It was a very involving sound. There was a sense of organic.
Yeah, that's what we're known for. That's the signature or footprint, if you like, that that we are constantly trying to maintain regardless of what we do. This has several different modes actually. So like with the Estalons, where you can move the towers up and down and the tweeter in and out to accommodate different acoustics. Obviously with an amplifier, it's electronics. It doesn't have anything to do with acoustics. But there's a lot of things you can do to change the actual resulting sound. So we have our typical Class A.
Can you alter the bias scheme?
Yes, that's exactly it. You can change it from being a pure Class A amplifier to being a very high bias Class AB amplifier, and it completely changes the way it actually sounds. So if you don't like this typical Class A sound that you just described, but you want more in your face punch, it can do that as well. It's a simple thing of going into the menu and saying, I want to have this mode instead of the other mode. You won't feel the difference in temperature though. It's still going to be plus 50 degrees Celsius. So it's also one of the hottest amplifiers we ever built.
Well, it sure is one of the hottest looking amplifiers I've ever laid eyes on.
Thank you.
And I want to thank you very much, Hans Vitus, for giving us a walkthrough on this new stereo amplifier that embodies everything from...
Well, one more small correction there is that, it is a stereo amplifier, but we already prepared it to do mono as well.
I knew you were
going to say that. if you don't think in the high biased AB mode 1400 watts is enough, well, you can run it in as a mono amplifier as well.
Oh my gosh.
And you need 3 power cords. That's also a new strange thing, but that's needed. And that's a long explanation for that, but that's for another time.
Okay, well, thumbs up to the new product.
Thank you.
Thank you too.